This episode is brought to you by Maestro Sausage, the only sausage we use at Hot Tongue. They produce sausages specifically with pizzerias in mind, and you can tell. So if your sausage isn't hitting all the right notes, let Maestro lead the way. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your host of Pie to Pie, Alex Koons, and of course, we're still sitting here at Hot Tongue Pizza. And I'm bringing you a brand new episode of Pie to Pie. This one with OG Papa Fern. Wow. I have experienced the OG Papa Fern via the interwebs and ran into this man at the competition floor on many occasions. But to have him sit down in front of me and have a conversation with him was such a delight. We covered a lot of things, talked about his journey and what he's doing this summer, going across the nation, doing pop-ups at different pizzerias, putting 1,000 pans in his Prius, going across the nation and talking about Argentinian pizza. Do you know what Argentinian pizza is? I didn't really have the slightest idea until sitting down and having this conversation. Fernando, OG Papa Fern, goes deep dive into what that is and what it means to him. We talk about what pizza pop-ups have done for him financially, how he got kicked out of his house, what is the current state of the New York pizza scene and New York City in general. OG Papa Fern joined me at 6 a.m. Early bird special here at Hot Tongue Pizza. One of the earliest interviews we've ever had. We got into a conversation that I love to get into. Comes up a lot in the pizza industry. It maybe can be a bit of a dangerous word because it puts things in a box, but authenticity. We talk about authentic and traditional pizza, what that means to us. Does it serve a purpose in this industry? Does it help or hurt us? What is authentic? What is traditional? Where did pizza really come from? And where that is taking us, where that's going. Fernando, Papa Fern, thank you so much for showing up at 6 a.m., bright and early, and having this conversation with me. It was awesome. I know you are all going to enjoy it. Ladies and gentlemen, OG Papa Fern, Wu-Tang Clan, ain't nothing to fuck with. New York City, Killer Bees for life, OG Papa Fern. Let's go. MailWise Solutions takes advertising to the next level. They design, print, and direct mail, menus, flyers, and postcards for pizzerias all across the United States. I've worked with MailWise before. I tried to design my own menu, and Kevin said, hey, give me a stab at this, and holy shit. When he sent me back the menu, I was like, I thought I was okay at what I did, and his design team blew me away. There's no mailing contracts, so you're free to advertise on your own schedule. Click the link in the show notes or request a sample pack at mailwisesolutions.com. Let's get you some new customers today.
So the idea was very simple. I meet people at Pizza Expo and different places, and they, I become cool with them, and they're like, yo, why don't you come make pizza? For most people don't know what Argentinian pizza is, so they're like, why don't you come do a collab with us? I'm like, all right, cool. So, Argentinian pizza has different styles, and I also incorporated a personal pan pizza to pizza al molde, which is a pan pizza. So I'm like, all right, if I fly out here to LA, how many pizza pans can I fit in my backpack and in my carry-on luggage? And then Tony Geminiani's like, I talked to Tony Geminiani. I'm like, he has a pizza festival going on next week. So I'm like, all right, shit. Now I need Sicilian pizza pans. How am I going to get Sicilian pizza pans and the personal pans in the car? And then, somebody in Orlando's like, all right, why don't you do a collab with us? And I'm like, no, I need the big pans too. How am I going to get all these pans to all these different places? Just put them in the car. And that's how the idea came up. And then I'm like, I can drive here, here, here. And then so from Orlando to LA, I need a couple of collabs in the way. So I drive 2 days, a week apart, drive 2 days, see stuff on the way, collab, 2 days, see stuff along the way, collab, then I got to LA. Then from here, to San Francisco, same thing. And now we need to get back to New York. So who wants to do a collab? A couple of people said. I time out 2 days apart. So now I got myself back to New York. And this turned into something that now, because I work in a school, I got the whole summer off. And I can be able to bring my daughter for half the summer with me. So I fly her out to wherever I am or fly her back home, from wherever we end up. And it turned into a road trip. And then I'm like, all right, I did the southern part of the United States and the East Coast, some of the West Coast. Next year, I'm going to go the other way. Go up to the north part of the United States. Canada, already got stuff planned in. And then I'm like, okay, that's this year, next year, what else can I do? Then the Route 66 idea came about. And then it became an idea about filming the whole thing too, and hopefully doing a YouTube show out of it.
Yeah, documenting the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing. Like the pizza part and then all the stupid stuff that happens in between.
Well, I definitely watch that, you know what I'm saying? Just for the stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I got somebody working on the Pizza Master right now, a specialist over here. Ricky, do you need my help?
I think I'm ready to test.
Yeah, all you have to do is just put all those levers up. All right, Pizza Master, let's see what you're made of with your goddamn shitty lights. Let's see if Ricky did it. The lights are back on. Dude, I've seen you. I've never personally met you, but I've seen you on the competition floor. You definitely compete. I saw you, and believe me and Matt were in New Jersey for, I think, the final Atlantic City Pizza Pasta Northeast. You were there, weren't you?
I was there, yes.
How did you get into like the competing scene? Like Jason Winters had talked about you. Like, I've seen you around for years. Like, what is your relationship with pizza?
So my dad had a pizzeria in Buenos Aires before we moved to the United States. Once we moved to the United States, just like every immigrant, 2-3 jobs at the same time to make ends meet. So that was it for the pizza side of it, right? But he still made pizza for the family, for friends, whenever there was a gathering at our house or whatever. But then my parents divorced. He went back to Argentina in 1997. So I used to backpack. Like, I used to work 5 months, 6 months, save all the money I could, and I would leave, go backpacking somewhere, come back 6 months later, a year later when the money ran out. Did that for a couple of years, sleeping on my mother's couch when I was in New York. And so then my mom's like, I'm going to have a whole bunch of friends over. Why don't you make some pizza? All right. So then that's how I started to make pizza. The first time I went, I bought the dough, and I just put the toppings on it myself. And then started making dough when my mother gave me more of a heads up, or, at a friend's house or whatever. And that's how I started to make pizza. Now, the thing is, like, in Argentina, pizza's fast food. They're making it in the morning. They're already selling it for lunch, right? A lot of yeast. And that's the way that I did pizza for many years. Until, like the book, The Alchemist?
The book, The Alchemist?
Yeah, it's my favorite book.
That's a great book.
It's a great fucking book. So my story kind of goes like that. Like, you end up, I don't want to, like, everybody should read that book, but I don't want to say how it ended, but just place to place around the world, messed up things happen, then you realize where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that the whole thing was there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up, New York is expensive. And I work in a school. I do not get paid enough money to live in New York City. So I ended up getting evicted out of my apartment. So basically I was homeless, sleeping in friends' houses and things like that. So I'm staying in this like semi-abandoned house in Long Island, trying to help a friend out and me having cheap rent at the same time. And you took me out, like, I could live in another country, but you take me out of New York City and it's difficult, right? Inside the United States. So I was in Long Island, bored as hell. On the internet, I found the 101 best pizzerias list. So I'm like, all right, let me see what pizzerias are in Long Island near where I'm staying. So I went to King Umberto, and I used to have buffalo chicken when I lived in Queens. It was my favorite slice from a local pizzeria. But I go to King Umberto, and it's like 100 times better. How? Why?
Yeah.
Then it just happened that a whole series of events, like Giovanni from King Umberto recognized me like a week or two later at a Slice Out Hunger event, right? Mm-hmm. He remembers me. I'm like, wow. He told me one time he remembers me. So then the slice was so good, I go back. But now I talk to him the second time I go. And he starts to talk to me about quality of ingredients, cold fermentation, multiple days, and a whole bunch of things. So then I start reading and learning about dough.
Yeah.
So that's how my pizza started to get better and better and better and better over time. And then at an event, at a pizza event for Mike's Hot Honey, a whole bunch of people that I had already met at different pizza events, and I'm like, maybe I should go compete in Las Vegas. And I'm expecting everybody to say, nah, you stupid, get out of here. What the fuck you talking about? No way. And everybody like, yeah, you definitely should. I'm like, what? So then that's how I went and competed.
When was that? What year was that?
So because I work in a school, because of the pandemic,
yeah,
Expo was in the middle of the summer one year, right?
Yeah, it was the 2020 year where everyone was wearing masks and shit.
So that's the year that I could go because I didn't have to take off from school the whole week.
Got it.
And then after that, I'm like, all right, every year I'm going to take off from school to go back to Expo.
Yeah, even if it's in March?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do at the school?
So I work with special needs kids. Some kids can't function in the classroom with just a teacher.
Yeah.
So I'm the extra help, like the one-to-one help that, to get the, so that they can function in the room and learn, calm them down. Sometimes it's translation. It could be a whole bunch of different things.
Sounds like a pretty tough job.
Yeah, but I love it. It's very, like I said, I've been homeless. I don't make enough money to live in New York City, but I don't want to give that job up. Like I could go into an office and put on a suit and a tie.
Yeah.
And look at a computer screen all day. I don't want to do that.
Are you making enough money to live in New York now?
Because of the pizza thing, yes.
So what is the pizza thing at this point that you're doing outside of schoolwork?
So basically, I will go up. I made a whole bunch of pizzeria owners. I have a whole bunch of friends as pizzeria owners. So basically, on the slowest night of the week, once a month somewhere, I go and I make pizza in their pizzeria. So I have a little bit of a following on social media. So a lot of the people that follow me show up on the slowest night of the week. I make the pizzas. They have a bar, appetizers, dessert, and their own pizzas. So they end up making as much money as on a Friday night or a Saturday night, but on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
So the pizza money goes to me. They make their money. Staff is happy. Good tips on a Tuesday or on a Wednesday.
Yeah, you're basically doing pop-ups in people's restaurants.
Yeah.
How often do you do those a month?
One time a month.
Once a month.
Sometimes twice a month, or sometimes not for a couple of months. It all depends on everybody's schedule and what we can do or not.
On this tour, I'm just interested, like how we do pop-ups, you came here and Mark Schechter was doing one. But when you go into somebody's facility, do they just give you all of your pizza sales? Do people take cuts? Like what's the way that it goes down? I purchased a Gosney Arc XL recently, and the bake has been so consistent. The bottom heat of the oven and the actual arc just cooks the crust to a caramelized perfection. There is no other oven, in my opinion, out right now that is going to give you these same results. Whether you are in need of a new oven for your pop-up or your dad's asking you, what is the best oven to make some homemade pizzas? Use our affiliate link down in the show notes. Smash the link. It helps the podcast. And more importantly, it helps you.
Well, on the trip, the sales go to me.
Yeah.
Right? And most of the time it's like that. I worked it out with everybody because in New York, I'll just buy everything that I need or whatever. But here, everything that I don't use now, I got to carry with me to the next place I go in a car with just a cooler. So what I do is I'll be like, okay, I'll get a bag of cheese from you. As soon as that bag is done, let me get a second, let me get a third, let me get a fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And then you deduct that from the sale. So everything that I need, like I have cans of stuff in the car, but the things that need refrigeration, I get from the pizzeria itself.
Okay, so you just buy it off them.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it's an ingredient like I use like prosciutto cotto, jamon, not like I use good ham. So if they don't have it, then I'll buy it.
Yeah.
But most of the time, they actually buy everything that I need from whoever they get their stuff from, and then I just deduct it. We just deduct it. They tell me how much I made. They tell me how much I spent, and then just write me a check.
Got it. Has there ever been like a shitty experience that you've had going into somebody else's restaurant, or have they all been positivo?
I wouldn't say there was a shitty one. There was some that are not as successful as others with the amount of pizza that I sell. It's all about in the promotion, how active they are on social media before I get there, and how active they are on promotion of the actual event. So,
But yeah, because we were just talking shit about Juan.
Juan who? Robles?
Just joking.
He's like,
because he said that event like was a very positive one. It sounded
Right.
like it was blazing the whole time.
yeah, like I usually do all the posting
Yeah.
for the events, and
Yeah.
I just collab post. Juan, I did one post that just introduces me, right? All the different styles that I do.
Yeah.
He did everything else. So
Yeah.
it was all Juan.
How did you meet Juan?
So Juan was watching me compete in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And he smelled the pizza from the stands. So then he came down, like after the judges get their slices, he came down to try. He was like one of the lucky few that get to try it. That got a slice.
Yeah.
And then he's like, thumbs up, great pizza, dude, whatever. And then I'm like, thank you. Like, there's and I have no memory, right? So next time I see you, huh?
You were blacked out?
No. But I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous.
During competition?
Oh, I'm so nervous.
Yeah.
Because the first time I competed, even the judges didn't even know what Argentinian pizza was.
Well, it's all
right?
rigged anyways, right?
Yes. But in Spanish is a little bit weird because Italian immigration, Spanish immigration, like in Argentina, every pizzeria sells empanadas.
Yeah.
Why? Spanish people, another wave of Spanish people
Spaniards?
immigrated to Argentina. Yeah.
They love them empanadas.
So they introduced their food. They saw how well the pizzerias were doing, bought some from Italians, and then or opened up their own and started introducing some of their foods into pizzerias. Then the Italians had to adapt and include, Spanish foods like empanadas into their pizzerias.
Yeah.
Like you go to a pizzeria in Argentina and you have in the logo the Spanish flag, the Argentina flag, and not one Italian flag, in the logo. So just like United States, Argentina is a place where immigrants from all over the world went. And food changes every time it goes somewhere.
Of course.
Right? And that's why Argentinian pizza is like thick, more cheese than dough, and a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah, okay. Well, take me through exactly. I mean, maybe you just explained it, but like what Argentinian pizza is, because like besides you, I have never heard anyone talk about Argentinian pizza except another individual I had the pleasure of working with, but he didn't do what you're doing.
He's from Argentina?
Yeah, I worked with this chef. I probably learned more from him, but he was like a private home chef. He was also one of the most prideful people I've ever met. No, like in a good way, of Argentina. And then every person I've met from there is very, like, they speak very highly of the country and like where they came from. And I think that's like I don't know if that's an Argentinian thing, but very proud. Very good dude. Taught me a lot.
So the immigrants that went from Italy to Argentina, a lot came from northern Italy, like the Genoa region, right? A lot of Sicilians. Neapolitans, like from all over Italy, but more from Genoa and Sicily. So what happens is a lot of Napolitanos came to the United States and they brought pizza napolitana with them, right? So it's the pizza that when pizza was first sold, like the pizza in Connecticut, the pizza in New York, it's first advertised as pizza napolitana. It became New York pizza later on, right? But that first pizza was pizza napolitana. Because the people that went to Argentina were not as much from there. It was never pizza napolitana in Argentina, but it was more focaccia based, right? Mm-hmm. So in Sicily, you have sfingione. In the Genoa and Northern Italy, you have focaccia, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why the pizza's thicker. Just like in the United States, pizza started being sold out of bakeries first. And they were selling focaccia. One of the most famous pizzas from Argentina is called the fugaceta. If you take the cheese away from that pizza, it's called fugasa. Now, focaccia and fugasa, that's how you used to pronounce in the northern dialect. Fugasa was focaccia. So they started selling focaccia. Then somebody had the idea to put cheese in it, and they called it fugasa con queso.
Inside of it?
Oh, on it.
On it, okay.
Then fugaceta came, and now it's inside of it because, and I'm going to, people are going to get angry at me how I pronounce it, focaccia di Greco from northern Italy, that thin pizza with that really gooey cheese, got turned into fugaceta by putting the cheese inside. Then the toppings, all right. So one of the funny things that I'm, talking about being proud, right? I'm like, we got chimichurri on pizza, bro.
Shit's fire.
We got chimichurri on pizza. Why do we have chimichurri on pizza, right? Because I'm writing a book. So I'm writing a book about the pizza from Argentina, how it changed, the immigration and everything.
Yeah.
We put chimichurri on pizza because the Italians that went over to Argentina thought that the cheese in Argentina did not taste good. So to mask the bad tasting mozzarella, they came up with herbs to sprinkle on top of the pizza. And that's how chimichurri became.
That's how it was invented?
Yes.
Because that shit you can put on anything. That was originally made for pizza?
Chimichurri, And it's because the cheese was bad. But it's not that the cheese was bad. It was just very different from what they were used to in Italy.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how chimichurri came on pizza. So every pizzeria has their own mix of chimichurri. It's like their signature.
Yeah.
Some pizzerias just put oregano. Some pizzerias just put oregano and crushed red peppers.
Yeah.
My chimichurri mix is what my dad used in his pizzeria in Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
That I'll tell people how to make the dough. And I make the dough different in every event because it's a collab. And I don't call them pop-ups because I take something from the pizzeria, the host, and I incorporate it into my dough.
What'd you incorporate last night?
So last night we did two styles. We did the pan pizzas or pizza al molde, but personal sized.
Yeah.
And then we also did the metro pizza, which is with a different name, the pizza that they already have at Triple Beam.
Yeah.
Right? So I just did it the Argentinian way, right? Which is also the same way that they make pizza in Uruguay. So it's more of a Uruguay thing as it is. But when I was a little kid in Argentina, we had pizza por metro, but it's not so much anymore.
Yeah.
So that's the part that I for the collab.
What kind of flour do you use for this stuff?
So again, I go to the pizzeria and I ask them what flours are you using? Because I don't want to have to carry a whole bag of flour in my car or more than one bag, right?
So you're using all kinds of flour?
Yes, as long as it's good flour.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, there's got to be a flour that you think gets the best results for your product. If you could get it, was there be a flour? No? You just work with what you have?
I mean, I know the companies that make good flours.
Yeah.
And as long as it's one of those companies, and out here you have flours that we don't get.
Yeah.
So I trust the people that I'm doing a collab with.
Yeah.
Right? So I know that they make good pizza.
Yeah.
So I know that they're using good products.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I just use whatever they use, and we do some test pies, and if it comes out great, comes out great.
How long are you fermenting like your...
That's one of the other things that I am incorporating from the host, right? So if they do multiple 4 days and they have the walk-in space for me to keep it in there 4 or 5 days, that's what I'll do. If they don't, I'll do a 3-day dough, 1 day bulk, 1 day ball, and then I use it.
Okay. But 3 days is good. You're not having to do like 24 hours or anything.
Nah.
So you've basically...
I mean, I can adapt to that.
Of course. I mean, it sounds like you're very highly adaptable in your situation that you're in. It sounds like you'll go in, you'll use whatever needs to be used, you'll work with whatever space you have, and you're going to make it work. The connections that you've made, have they've all come, for the most part, from Pizza Expo?
Some of them.
Yeah.
Some from Clubhouse Pizza Club and Clubhouse, and then some from Instagram followers, people that make pizza. And when I said, hey, I'm going from here to here, if anybody has a pizzeria along this kind of route,
Put me in, coach.
let me know.
Yeah.
And then I look at their pizza, I ask them what are they doing, and
What's the best pizzeria in New York?
very difficult.
That's a good restaurant name.
No. You can't, like, if I tell you the best, I have to say like 10, 12 names.
Well, just hit me with 3. And it doesn't have to be the best. It just has to be, what are the ones you really like?
So which ones I would go to, like, which somebody says I'm coming to New York, take me to the best pizzerias.
Yeah.
I would say Mama's 2, Lindustry, Andrew Bellucci's, Filomena's. And people are going to get mad at me because I don't mention some of them, right?
You just start going off.
Yeah. Manos. And then some only pie places like Weeded. And there's more. There's more. And the only place that is very difficult, let me piss off some people. The only place that is I did a 5 best slice shops list of each borough.
So hit me with, in each borough?
In each borough, the top 5 in each borough that sold slices.
Got it.
Very difficult to narrow it down.
Of course.
In Queens.
Very difficult
to narrow it down in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Somewhat difficult in Staten Island. Somewhat difficult in Manhattan. It was very difficult to come up with 5 slices or 5 slice shops to recommend in the Bronx. Difficult. The Bronx is still stuck in the 80s. And not many people are making more than overnight dough pizza in the Bronx.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to come up with 5.
Where do you live?
Hi, Bronx. Don't shoot me. I live in Queens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the top 3 in Queens?
Andrew Bellucci's is there.
Okay.
Filomena's is there.
Okay.
Manos is there. And then, like, when I do the list for this year, those 3 will be on it.
Yeah.
And the other 2, it's like some, and it's when I go, they might have a bad day, and that bad day will kick them off the list, right? So.
Damn, fucking heartless, dude.
Listen,
Everyone has a bad day. You gotta get a mulligan. You know what I'm saying?
You only get 1 shot.
Dude, it is fucking Eminem up in this beast, dude. B-Rabbit. If your sausage needs aren't hitting all the right notes, then let Maestro lead the way. Maestro has been working closely with pizzerias for decades. They produce sausages designed specifically with pizzerias in mind. And you can tell their Italian sausage crumbles look like they were handmade in your shop, and they will taste that way as well. With over 80 years in business, family owned and operated, the family is incredible, and so is their product. It's quality sausage with quality ingredients. Click the link in the show notes. A classical masterpiece awaits you. Back to the show. Pizza culture in New York, is it very accepting? Is it open? Is it easy to meet people? I'm curious because I'm stuck out here in the West Coast and living in a positivity bubble where everyone's like, woo!
I mean, New York is New York.
Yeah.
You got to get out of the way.
Oh, shit.
Most of the time, the pizza makers, especially in the top, they're humble people. So you can go in there, get some slices, talk to them, learn from them, watch them as you're sitting there. For the most part, those people are very, very good. It's a good community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
Is anyone else doing Argentinian pizza?
There's a lot of people.
Yeah. Is there Argentinian pizza shops in New York? Because I couldn't tell you in Los Angeles. Oh, yeah, let's go get some Argentinian pizza over at, I know, Greek pizza. A lot of Greek pizza, especially in Boston. Shout out Bruce, Smart Pizza Marketing.
He's in Boston?
He's like in Massachusetts somewhere.
Just like everywhere else, there's levels of pizza. So in Buenos Aires, there's also levels of pizza. There's pizza that has not good ingredients. They use less cheese to make it more affordable. They use less toppings to make it more affordable. And then you have the best. When you have to sell pizza and pay the rent, pay your employees and everything else, you need to make a profit.
Yeah.
If I sell you, like my pizza, let's say the mozzarella pizza, right? It'll feed 4 people. 4 people can come here. It takes me 30-something minutes of a bake. So people are gonna order 4 Cokes, sit here, wait, take up a table for 2 hours. I sell the cheese pizza, the moussa, for $30. They order 4 Cokes, $38, and they're gonna take up a table for 2 hours.
How big is that pizza that you're selling for $30? Because they're pretty small, aren't they?
They're small.
12?
They're small, but it's 500 grams of dough.
Yeah.
And more than 500 grams of mozzarella on it.
Yeah.
Right? So 2 slices, you'll be full.
Yeah. Cholesterol levels are high.
I mean, let's not talk about that. So it doesn't make sense for $38 for somebody to take up a table with New York rent.
Yeah.
Right? So what do? They have to sell other kinds of pizzas.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They have to put less cheese. They have to put less toppings. They have to use lower ingredients just to keep. There's a whole bunch of pizzerias that opened and closed, right?
Yeah.
But in the 80s, 70s, 90s, when New York wasn't as expensive, there were a couple of pizzerias that were open for years. Now they open and close, open and close, open and close, or won't even say that they're Argentinian. You know, they'll when you're an immigrant and you come to our country, some people are going to discriminate against you because you're an immigrant.
Yeah.
To adapt, people will even not speak English to their kids, right? From all over the world, right? So, being from South America, we get discriminated against. So we try to assimilate to the European, some people from Argentina will assimilate more to the European side and call their restaurant Italian food or this food or that food, and then also have a part of the menu that's from Argentina. Yeah. One, because it sells more, because they don't have to educate people on what it is.
Yeah.
And also, like, a little bit of discrimination, right? But when you go into any restaurant in New York and you go behind the visible part, everybody in the kitchen most likely is from Latin America, right? So I think that we should not hide the fact that we are Latin Americans. I say that because this is not my business. It's not how I feed my family, right? Or but it's something that we should be proud of, that this is Argentinian food.
Yeah.
Even though it's an adaptation from Italy or from other countries, it's Argentinian food, right?
Yeah.
You don't say, oh, I'm going to an Italian restaurant when you're in Argentina, right? I'm just going to a restaurant, and in that restaurant, you're gonna have pasta, you're gonna have, whatever. It's Argentinian food. So if you're gonna sell pasta, sell it as pasta from Argentina. Don't sell it as pasta from Italy.
Yeah.
Right? That's how I think. But then again, I'm not a business person.
Yeah.
And I don't have to think that way. Right?
Yeah.
I'm just proud of where I'm from. I'm proud of what the food is, how it evolved into what Argentinian food is, how we incorporated things from all over the world. But I don't have to, it's not how I live, right? I want people to know what Argentinian pizza is. I want people to want to seek out to try Argentinian pizza. And if it's from me, great. Hopefully it's from somebody that does it well, because I have been to a lot of places and some of them are really disappointing.
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate. I think that people get very obsessed with this like authentic experience.
Yeah.
So everyone tries to create this thing that they don't even know themselves. So people open up Italian restaurants or pizzerias and they subscribe to this idea that they have to do it the way that they did it in the old country, or it has to be decorated in a certain way to create an authentic experience that maybe isn't authentic to them, but thinks that's what needs to happen to sell things. And unfortunately, I feel like people, whether they know it or not, like fall into that category and they want those same things sometimes.
There's a very good documentary on Netflix I think it's called Food on the Go. And it talks about Italian food, how that Italian food changed when it went to Argentina, how that Italian food changed to when it came to the United States.
Yeah.
The people in Argentina say this is authentic Italian food. The people in the United States say this is authentic Italian food. The people in Italy say this is authentic Italian food. None of them look alike.
Yeah.
Right? But they all think that this is authentic.
Yeah.
Food changes over time. So what is authentic in Italy 300 years ago has changed, right? So somebody can say same thing with pizza, right? This is authentic Neapolitan pizza. You go back 200 years, there was no refrigeration.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what are you talking? You're doing 4-day cold format and you're calling it authentic?
Yeah.
That didn't even exist, right?
Yeah.
So things evolve. Just let it. There's no need to say, like, I'm one of the people that's trying to do it as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
But at a higher level, right? So there's things that people are gonna be like, no, your air bubbles inside your dough are too big. Mm-hmm. That's not authentic. Okay, fine, that's not authentic. But everything I'm putting on the pizza, the way that I do it, is authentic. I'm just making it better.
I guess the word is a bit loaded because it's like authentic. If you want to fucking put somebody in a box or put something in a box and call it authentic, then like go ahead. I mean, like we have a saying here that it's like we're authentically us. It ain't Italian. Maybe pizza is Italian at its core, but like we're here at Hot Tongue. I'm just making food, and I'm doing the best that I can. But I'm not like, oh, my Nona made this fucking sauce recipe or blah blah blah. It's like I learned everything off YouTube and fucking Instagram and then taught myself other shit. It's like, what is the evolution of food is constantly changing. And if you are changing yourself, your food's going to get better. And it doesn't have to, you can have traditional roots, but to say something needs to be authentic or have somebody come in here or to one of your pop-ups and tell you that it's not authentic, well, that's bullshit because it's authentic to you.
We call it pizza.
Yeah.
Why do we call it pizza? The only reason why we call pizza, because there's things like pizza in other cultures.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
But we call it pizza. Why? Because people were starving in Italy and they wanted to make a better life for themselves somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So the invention of the transatlantic ships and all that stuff, and the things that were happening in Italy at the time that everybody left, is why we call it pizza. Because if it was Spanish people that left during that time and they went all over the world, they have their version of pizza called cocas, right? So we would be calling it cocas. Mm-hmm. If it was the French, and I don't even know how to pronounce that word, right? But the French style of pizza, then we would be calling it that.
Yeah.
We call it pizza because Italians went everywhere.
Yeah.
But inside of Italy, when they look at recipe books from when pizza was mentioned in the past, it was not what Neapolitans call pizza now. It was a flatbread with fruit on it, right?
Yeah, it was a flatbread, which has been like going on for thousands of years.
In so many different cultures of the world.
Yeah.
So the fact that we call it pizza is because Italians went and they moved all over the world.
Yeah.
And everywhere where they went, the food changed to the local conditions. And then pizza evolved to all the different styles that we have around the world.
Yeah. It's also a pretty sick word, though, you know? The
Easy to pronounce.
Pizza. Yeah. It
Like
looks cool, you know?
Imagine if we had, and I know I'm butchering or like whatever. I can't even say the word in English. So imagine me trying to say it in French. Pizza le diere is how I read it when I look at it in Spanish. That's the French version. I don't know,
That sounds tight, too.
If croissant is croissant.
Yeah.
Imagine how they pronounce that word.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then we got to write this, instead of writing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-letter word, pizza, or Pizza, 5 letters. Imagine you had to write like a 9, 10, 12-letter word, pizza le diere, with accents and stuff on it in front of every pizza shop.
I don't know, we could have shortened it, but they probably were like, when they named pizza, they were like, this would look good on the back of a t-shirt. Yeah, back in the day, like hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, that's the word.
And neon signs?
Yeah, they're like, neon signs and t-shirts, this is the word.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't you think it's a little ironic that you were talking about discrimination and that New York was literally the melting pot of immigration, and then you have immigrants that come in there and there's still discrimination? Has America forgot where they came from?
I mean, so there's a whole bunch of things that go with that, right? Because the United States, the discrimination in the United States about go back to where you came from. If you don't like it, leave. You should learn English. We're right now and I don't know too much about history, right? But right now we're in California. Mm-hmm. California was not part of the United States, right? It was part of Mexico, and it was won in a war or something like that. Right? So for people that live here, who stole the land from Mexico, people that live here, who live in a country from the land stolen from Native Americans, to tell people to go back to where they came from if they don't adapt to what they want, to me is ridiculous. The Spanish did things different, right? The Spanish became one. I don't know if it's the right terminology, and people are going to get upset about it. But the Spanish
people get upset about
for
everything, so don't worry about it.
But the Spanish mixed with the locals that were here before they arrived, right? And that's how we have Latin American people.
Yeah,
that will come in all shades, right? And there's racism in Latin American countries too, so it's not like it's a U.S. only problem.
Yeah, no, there's racism all over the world.
Right. What was the original question?
Just the irony in people saying stuff like learn English, you get out of my country, or any discrimination
Right.
against other immigrants because we're all immigrants.
And to me, New York is a place for immigrants. I'm going to upset some more people, right? The gentrifiers that come from other states to New York, raising rents, kicking New Yorkers out of New York because it becomes unaffordable, telling people from New York, lower your music. You're supposed to speak English and all these things, right? New York is the entry point to the United States for the East Coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe San Francisco was for the West Coast.
Yeah.
Right? So for people to come to New York and try to change New York, and they're coming from somewhere else in the United States, to me is wrong. New York is for immigrants. New York is for people to speak their languages. New York is for people to worship whatever they worship. The fact that Queens, where I live, is the most diverse place in the world, where the most languages are spoken, where the most religions are worshipped, to me is something to be proud of where I live. Because you choose where to live. You don't choose where you're born, right? So if you want to come to a place like New York and try to change people, I don't like that.
Well, isn't that the thing that makes New York one of the best cities in the world?
Right.
Yeah. It's its diversity.
Right. So to stop trying to tone down that diversity.
Yeah. I mean, you also brought up, like, I don't know, in passing, it is interesting because not just in New York, but in California and a lot of places that, like, if you go into a kitchen, a lot of people are from Mexico or Latin America or, anywhere you go, whatever restaurant you're working
Right.
at. And it's a huge workforce. And I mean, they definitely put their stamp on everything, whether people know that or not.
But then those people are getting discriminated. Those people are told to go home. Those people are not allowed to go visit their home country because there's no pathway for them to become legal. A lot of them become legal.
It brings up I've seen people be taken advantage of. I've worked at restaurants where, because people maybe don't have certain documents, that I've seen owners definitely treat people differently. Like, it's pretty fucked up.
Yes.
Because kitchen culture has changed a lot, but I think there's a new kind of what's the word? Problematic behavior, which would probably be taking advantage of people that are just happy to have a job here.
Right.
And that's where it gets kind of fucked up.
Yes. But it's been like that forever.
Yeah.
Right? People talking about, this brings up so many things, but people talk about the government not being involved in business, right? If the government wasn't involved in business, little kids would still be working in factories. Protection so that workers don't get hurt would be non-existent.
Yeah.
Right? So many different things wouldn't happen or would still be happening. Some of those things are still happening because of this non-legality of the people that are here, that have been here for decades maybe, who contribute to society, have no way of being able to say something because of their legal status.
Yeah.
Right? So if we get a pathway for these people to become legal, it will change a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I also see people treating their staff well, because in this economy where there's very low unemployment, people can leave here today and have a job the next morning somewhere else.
Yeah.
So the balance has changed somewhat from workers having power to before is you do what the owner says or you get the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely changed. I feel that we're in a time now where you have, whoever you are, you have more say. Whether like like you said, if you're being treated like shit, it is easier now.
Right.
Because the workforce changed after COVID. I think
Yes.
a lot of people figured out that the restaurant industry is toxic as fuck. And the people that came back were saying, I'm not gonna be treated like that. And other people were just like, fuck that, I'm not going back to that place.
And the other thing that also, the pandemic, the gig economy, right?
Yeah.
Before you were told you got to work 6 days a week and you're going to work all weekend long and you're never going to see your kids.
Yeah.
You're never going to get to hang out with your friends because you belong to this business and the owner making money.
Yeah.
The gig economy is like, I don't feel like getting up, so I'm going to go to work 3 hours later.
Mm-hmm.
Or today, I don't know. I want to hang out with my friends. I'm not going to go to work.
Yeah.
To whatever, right? So now the balance of work to fun has changed mentally inside of people because of the pandemic, because of the gig economy. But these things won't allow you to buy your own house and the things that you were able to do. Like in Argentina, there was a little restaurant in my house. I left when I was 10 years old. I went back when I was 30. The waiters in the restaurant were still the same people. Because those people can, with the salary that they make, and Argentina does not have like a big tip economy like the United States does, they were able to support their families.
Yeah.
They were able to buy a house,
Yeah.
working as a waiter their whole life and retire, right?
Yeah.
That does not happen anymore,
No.
right?
Not even in Argentina.
Well, I haven't been there since 2006.
Okay. Due for a trip.
And that restaurant, that was the closed down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would love it more than anything is if the restaurant industry was a career path for long-term careers where it wasn't this in-between job. I do have certain feelings about tipping and getting rid of that to make that happen.
Right.
I do think that you would just have to charge a certain price and be able to pay your employees $25 to $30 an hour, maybe more, and probably more. And that would be a way you give them health care, 401k, all the stuff that a regular job offers.
Okay. I think the government should offer that, not the job, right?
Okay.
Healthcare and retirement
Healthcare.
should be the government's business, not me have to pay into, not an employer have to pay into. It should be provided by the government.
I mean, that sounds tight too.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I don't know how that would work.
I mean, it works in a lot of countries.
Yeah. Like where? Canada? Free healthcare over there?
Free healthcare in Argentina.
Really?
Yeah. Free universities in Argentina.
That seems like the smartest thing to me is free education because that's how you change.
Right.
That's how things really happen. Not getting out of school with $300,000 in debt with then going and working at a pizzeria.
And then trying to buy a house too, when it's going to take you 30 years to pay your debt off from college.
Well, dude, that's what we're talking about. Like getting into a house is like non-existent. I mean, a team member here, let alone like myself who owns a business who probably makes less than a team member here now.
Right.
But like just getting into a house in Los Angeles is, I gotta win the lotto.
Listen, New York is so expensive that some people buy houses in a state not too far away just to have a separate address to pay less car insurance.
Oh shit. Like get a house in New Jersey?
Well, New Jersey is already too expensive.
Oh, okay.
Before it used to be Pennsylvania, some places in Connecticut, now Delaware. So some people will buy, with the money, houses were that cheap.
Yeah.
That the money you're saving on car insurance in New York will make the payment for the house.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Why is car insurance so high in fucking New York?
Well, I mean, that's a whole nother complex thing. But when a car just had an engine, 4 wheels,
Yeah.
and no sensors,
Yeah.
and you got into a car accident, to fix it, It was a lot cheaper. Now
Yeah.
with all these cameras and sensors and all the
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
that
yeah.
goes on, you crash a car now and
It's $1 billion.
it's $1 billion. And if your car is like more than 4 years old, they're gonna call it totaled. You
Yeah.
know, so
All right, let's get back to pizza.
yeah.
Do you want to open your own shop, or do you kind of like what you're doing right now?
I would open a shop with the right partners, with a specific vision, or I won't.
Yeah.
So I want Argentinian pizza to be known, right? So if I have a restaurant, the people that come are gonna know what Argentinian pizza is. If I have restaurants in important cities in the United States or other countries, people are gonna know what it is.
Yeah.
So the goal is not to be like local. And the same thing, like you said, sometimes a team member makes more money than the owner, right? It's not about the money,
Yeah.
but I don't want to be somewhere 7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day, and be there all the time. And that's my life,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, my daughter started to make pizza too. She's 13. So whenever we do an event with like Slice Out Hunger or something,
Yeah.
now she makes the pizza and I do the oven. Now she wants me to open up a pizzeria. So with the right partners, with the right mentality, and with the right vision, it could happen. The other thing that could happen is a food truck.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm more inclined to the food truck idea because the food truck, I can do this like kind of the same thing as in a brick and mortar, but it's not full time. I can still work in the school. The rest of the staff could prep while I'm working at the school. There's teachers that retire earlier because they were in a time period that after 25 years they could retire.
Yeah.
So with the, so that could happen. And then the people that work for us, the team members, are gonna be hopefully students that I've had in the past. To give them, a job so they can feel good about what they're doing, teach them, and hopefully that will lead to them opening up their own food business in the future.
Yeah.
That way they can change their whole family's lives,
Well, that's an incredible idea. I think that also if you have a team that you train that is under you, and then one of those people goes on to do their own thing.
Yeah.
I think that's the highest of the highest. What is it? The highest. I want to say monument, but that's not what I want to say. But to me, that's the
goal.
The goal.
Yeah.
It says that says a lot about you, because
Yeah.
if somebody from your camp goes on to do their own thing and it's successful, you helped that person get there. And it's like when Tony G said, "My success is your success." And as much as I want to make fun of that, he's right.
And look how many people have their own pizzerias now.
Because of that man. I know. You can't knock that man.
No.
He wrote the Bible. Tony Jesus. Tell me why olives on pizza. What are the
I don't know.
olives?
It's just like people put basil on pizza. It's a garnish. So it's just one. So I still don't like olives, right? So whenever we ate pizza, I just took the olive off and I gave it to my dad. But the little indentation had a little bit of olive juice in it. So what I do, instead of putting one per slice like it's done in Argentina and one in the middle, I just bunch them all up in the middle. So when you grab a slice, most likely the olives fall off. Whoever wants them, they eat them. And the ones that don't. But I have no idea why. I learned that the more specialty pizzas get a black olive. The more regular pizzas get a green olive.
Yeah.
So in my menu. It's like 4 with green olives, 4 with black olives.
I like it. I've just never seen anyone just put a clump of fucking olives on their pizza, though.
But I still put 1 per slice and 1 in the middle. I just put them all in the middle.
Got it. What was your best scoring at Expo? Because you've competed now for 4 years, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you go to Pizza Tomorrow Summit in Orlando?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I saw you there too.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's been your best score? Are you going to go this year?
Yeah, I was absent from work those days.
Oh shit. Called in sick.
I hope the principal doesn't see that. So I guess I can't go to pizza tomorrow this year. So what happened? What was the question there? Oh yeah, I didn't sign up to compete. I didn't know I was going. It was a last minute decision. It was in Orlando.
Yeah.
So my family's down there. So
Yeah.
I was like, no pictures on the internet.
Okay.
No pictures on social media.
Damn. I didn't know it was like that, dude. We're gonna have to cut this section out. Yeah, it's the same days.
I mean, you leave it on there, but it'll be a faster pathway to me to open up a food truck or something.
Oh my God. So what's been your best placing?
I don't know. So the first year, like I said, some of the judges don't even know what it is, right? They don't understand why so much cheese. Like, this is horrible. Why so much cheese?
Well, yeah, because it's blind too. So you're just like sending your pizza back there, and they're probably like, "What the?" Sorry, you're always doing non-traditional.
I'm always doing pan division.
Pan division, okay.
Right? And pan division isn't divided like, like you have a lot of divisions, but pan division is one that's extremely open. As long as you're in a pan, you can, so it's not like, there's traditional.
Yeah.
So I think I'm traditional because I'm doing traditional Argentinian-style pizza. So I can't, but I don't fall under the traditional
Well,
pizza competition.
Again, it's loaded.
Yeah.
Buca de Beppo.
So the first time I competed, I got 2 very good scores, 2 horrific scores, and 1 normal score.
Yeah.
When you average it, horrible.
Yeah.
So at this year, because I also know that judging has other things like creativity and all that stuff, and I'm trying to teach people what Argentinian-style pizza is.
Yeah.
So creativity does not really fall under when you're trying to keep something traditional, right? So
Yeah.
I already know my scores can't be that high. Mm-hmm. But this year at Expo, I got decent scores from all of the judges.
Yeah.
All level. So that's when in my head, I'm like, I won.
Yeah.
Now I know that people are starting to learn what it is.
Yeah.
And that they like what I do, right?
Yeah.
But I know that when they have to write those numbers on that piece of paper, some of the criteria I'm not going to get high scores of because I'm trying to keep it traditional and educate people what Argentinian-style pizza is.
Yeah. Probably comes back there. Scott Wiener's like, well, this is Argentinian pizza, everyone.
Well,
This is how this is supposed to be with the...
and I know Scott doesn't like so much cheese on pizza.
Yeah.
So I know he's the one. I know it was you, Scott, that gave me that really low score the first year.
Dude. Wiener, we're coming for you, bro. That dude likes all pizza, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He's a gem.
Yeah. So we're going to end up the trip back in New York Labor Day weekend, and that's Sunday, with a whole bunch of other like pop-up pizza makers. And some have brick or mortar. We're going to end up the trip with, I think it's going to be 8 of us that are going to do a fundraiser event for Slice Out Hunger on Sunday of Labor Day weekend at Strong Rope Brewery in Brooklyn.
Nice.
And my daughter's going to bake pizza there at that one.
Do you ever, when you do pop-ups like at a brewery, what kind of oven you usually cooking in?
So I started out selling, making pizza at home.
Yeah.
And then selling out of my house.
Okay.
And then I moved on to breweries. So then I had a Breville, and then I had a convection oven, and I put pizza steels in them. Mm-hmm. So that's how I was making the pizza.
Yeah.
But now they're gonna use We're gonna use Gosney's because they got Gosney's for us to use. But I haven't done like, because I live on the second floor and then my staircase is like this. So I live on an avenue, Jamaica Avenue, under the train.
Yeah.
So I really don't like bringing everything up and down the steps every time I did in a brewery, a pop-up in a brewery. I kind of like
I get that. Like going up and down with all your shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go up one time and not have to carry ovens.
Yeah.
Go down, up and down, and not have to carry ovens.
Yeah.
Not have to carry tables, not have to carry all the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get that. The setup and the takedown.
Yeah.
Did you bake at the that thing they did? What was that? What was that party? Like the party at Expo with they had those other ovens out front of Pizza Rock.
You don't want to mention Uni?
They had those other ovens that were just
Some people that use a certain company got in trouble for using the other company's ovens and being in pictures with the other oven. And
I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, so no, I was not there because I'm not allowed to use oven. No, I'm just playing. Because I don't know when I'm gonna get there. Like I do a lot of things.
You don't know when you're gonna get to like the Expo,
Right.
Yeah,
And you know, one time I thought I was gonna get there, and then the flight got delayed.
yeah,
And then I wouldn't have made it. So next year for Expo. Well, this year for Expo, I flew out to Sacramento. Ryan picked me up. Sanctuary Pizza.
Yeah.
Picked me up. We drove to LA. We went to eat pizza in LA. Hung out for a couple of days, and then we drove to Vegas. So next year, I'm probably gonna fly to LA, come stay with Juan, Triple Bean Pizza, Juan Robles. Mm-hmm. Hang out, eat pizza, get me a couple of tacos in,
hell yeah,
and then drive over to Vegas, and then I fly back from Vegas.
yeah. Do a full trip.
Yeah,
Ryan is great.
oh, awesome dude, like real good people.
He did a pop up here, and it went hard.
Yeah,
He brought out the people.
we need to start talking about when I'm gonna do a pop up here.
But yeah, well, next time you roll through,
All right.
You're
Maybe that weekend for Pizza Expo.
I'd love that. That works if you're in town.
I could get here like on a Friday. Oh, but then we gotta leave. Nah. A weekend pop up?
Probably the easiest thing to do would probably do it during. Well, we can talk about it. We can make it work.
All right.
We'll make it work.
Because I'm gonna fly out on Friday, be here, and Sunday. Is that when that Uni event is at Pizza Expo? On a Sunday?
Hopefully, it's they got better ovens next time. But they really sucked, and everyone was complaining. But I don't forget what the exact oven was there.
The bottom heat from that volt, though.
Fire. I haven't used the electric ovens are great though. Yeah. It's a different beast. That Breville oven, the Pizziaiolo oven. The oven is fucking sick.
So if you look at my Instagram, sometimes I do pizza in a coal wood-fired oven, right?
Yeah.
The problem is that because my pizza is in the oven for 30 minutes, it takes a lot of heat away from the stone on the bottom.
Yeah.
You can't, I'll do a pop-up and the whole oven is full, right? So you can't like rotate because the oven is full.
Yeah, I know.
So what we'll do is we'll spread the ambers on one side of the oven, and then the pan will go on top of the ambers, called right? Ambers.
Yeah, it sounds
on top of the ambers to finish off the bottom, right on top.
Yeah.
Because if not, the top is done and the bottom is still not cooked. So the bottom heat is very important for my kind of pizza.
Are you par baking your dough?
Sometimes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, coal oven, whatever oven, Gosney or Uni, that's your bottom heat is what kind of gets fucked after your third or fourth or fifth launch.
30 minutes after the first one sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I just started a pop-up and it's by the third one, you got to give it 5, 6, 7 minutes. All right. Well, I'm going to ask you one final question. Who is the greatest recording artist or band of all time to you?
All right, so I grew up in the 80s and 90s. From Argentina, I was 10 years old, so I listened to little kid music. I remember ABBA had a song called Fernando. That's my name. Then I moved to the United States. Didn't know English. I learned to breakdance before I learned how to speak English. The song Jam On It by Nucleus, the robot rapping, to me as a 10-year-old was amazing. But when I look at, throughout time, I had different bands or different groups that to me were the best. But when I look at them overall, and not just personally, but what they did worldwide, the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes, it is the most said answer. It is the Wu-Tang Clan because obviously they are nothing to fuck with.
Exactly.
Let me ask you another question. I know I said this was going to be the last, but what was harder, learning how to breakdance or English?
Learning how to breakdance.
Yeah, okay. I imagine everyone should learn how to breakdance before their second language because that shit looks tough.
Yeah,
Can you still fucking bust a move?
absolutely not. I can barely bend down when I drop something.
All right, and then, is there any significance to the name OG Papa Fern? Because when I first saw you on Instagram, I was like, "Yo, dude, it's like this. That name is hard as fuck."
Okay, so Papa Fern was already taken on Instagram.
Okay, all right, okay.
I sent that dude a message. He had like 4 pictures. I'm like, yo, I've been Papa Fern since Hotmail was not even owned by Microsoft. Give it to me.
Yeah,
Where do you live?
yeah. I'm gonna come to your house, homie.
Never replied.
Yeah,
So I'm the original Papa Fern.
yeah.
So OG Papa Fern.
I love it, dude.
And it's so hard that I got the Papa Fern from Papa Smurf.
That's where it came from?
That's right.
Damn, all right. That's the OG story right there.
Hard as hell.
That's hard as hell. Dude, I forgot to mention, where are you staying? Are you staying with Juan right now?
Now I'm staying today.
Today.
Different. I got friends, so
Yeah.
a week here, a few days here, a couple of days here, 2 days here.
Are you going up to Sanctuary after this?
So Tuesday I'm with Theo and Last Round Tavern in San Jose.
Yeah.
We're doing a 3-way collab. That's Tuesday, and then Saturday's a pizza festival in San Francisco.
With
I'm
Tony
doing
G.
that with Tony G.
Yeah. Do you got your own tent or something?
I'm in the guest pizza YOLO.
Okay, nice.
So I got only 1 hour.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm going to try to feed as many people as possible during that 1 hour.
I appreciate you taking the time. I know you were here for a short time. I know that our schedules kind of got all messed up because we were out of town, but you pulled up here at 6 a.m. We did this early. I know we all look incredible on camera. You wouldn't even know that we just woke up.
I don't have bags?
No, you're looking good. I think that not matcha, what is that? Yerba mate.
The caffeine
yeah,
in here.
Do you get about,
But is that
Look
good
at
for
that.
the eye bags or no?
it's great. Oxidation.
Put it-
What's it? Yeah, there it is. Antioxidants. Oxidation station. Anyways, dude, thank you so much. This was incredible.
Yeah, it went a lot smoother than I thought it was because I'm shy.
You fooled me. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much.